You know, people always say that the UFC is a monopoly, you know, and they're actually even being investigated by someone, Federal Trade, FTC, Federal Trade Commission, and they're being investigated as being a monopoly. But it's not a monopoly. They just do it better than anybody else. It's like you can't say that NASCAR is a monopoly, but if you wanted to say, hey, let's start up our own fucking car league, you know, we're going to just race cars all across the country. What are you going to call it? The new car league? Everybody like, but it's not NASCAR, right? No. Well, it's not NASCAR has a monopoly. It's just they're the best at it. You could start your own car league if you want to. That's the same thing with the UFC. The UFC is not a monopoly. You know, they just have the best fighters right now because they have the most money and the most popularity. But they built this shit up, man. If you want to do it by yourself, do it by yourself. And Bellator is doing it by themselves. There's a company called Bellator, and they've got some good fighters, man. They've got a good show. They got this guy, Jimmy Smith, who does the commentary. He's really good at it. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, knows what the fuck is going on. He gives excellent commentary. Their color guy's really good. They have a good show. They do a different format where they have tournaments, and they hold this tournament, and the tournament takes place over several weeks or several months rather, and then they pick a guy who wins the tournament, and then he fights for the title. And you know, they do a fucking real good job, man. They do a real good job with it, and they just got bought out by Viacom. So it's not that the UFC is a monopoly. There's other people in the game. They just been in the game longer. They spent more money. They invested more time. They do it better. It's that simple. You know, it's like there's a certain amount of people that whenever you get to a certain level of success, they want to think that you did something wrong to get there. But if it wasn't for the UFC, man, nobody would have invested that kind of money. Eventually, I think MMA would have slowly broken through to the mainstream over the course of who knows how many years. Or it could have wound up like soccer, where everybody thought it was going to make it, but it never did. You remember well, soccer when we were kids? They were pushing soccer, like soccer's eventually going to be a big professional sport. I remember that. But it just never quite marketed it correctly, never quite got through.
Yeah. Same with hockey for Columbus.
Hockey's still pretty good.
For Ohio, for where I live, they tried to push hockey a lot, and it was pretty big for a while, but now it's kind of like, I don't think it's...
If someone's smart, if someone's got balls, listen to me right now. This is the thing. K-1 kickboxing. K-1 kickboxing is some of the most exciting shit to watch in the world. If you watch the highest level kickboxers, god damn is that shit exciting. It's so fucking fun to watch. They go at it, man. It's only 3 rounds. Even title fights are like 3 rounds. They fucking go to war, man. And some of the fights are 5 rounds, I think. But either way, they're fun, and it's all striking, which is what a lot of people like. A lot of people don't like the wrestling aspect of MMA. I love it because I think it's the most realistic sport in the world. I mean, it is real fighting. It's a sport of real fighting encompassing all the different techniques. So to me, it's more complicated. It's more cerebral. There's more strategy involved because there's more variables. I'm always going to be a huge fan, primarily of MMA. If I had one thing to watch, it would be MMA. But I love fucking kickboxing too. I love watching it. It's so much more exciting than regular boxing. And we know how boxing is still doing well. People still want to see a good boxing match. You know, if Manny Pacquiao's fighting, people are still going to pack in to see that guy light people up. But man, if you watch some high-level kickboxing, boxing becomes boring because they can't kick. They're not doing all this other crazy shit. You watch, like, I went to the Muay Thai Professional League. They had a show at Long Beach, and I went down and checked that shit out. God damn, it was fun, dude. They were some of the best kickboxers in the world. And just, I was in the front row and watching these guys go at it, man. It's wild shit because they don't have to worry about being taken down. There's no takedowns. So they're just fucking teeing off on each other, man. Wild head kick knockouts and spinning back fist knockouts and cutting people with elbows. It was nuts, man. It's a crazy sport. I can't believe that it doesn't get the press that it deserves. Because like maybe it's not as good as MMA, but god damn if it ain't a close second. And it's not being promoted. Someone's completely dropped the ball. You know, the people who own K-1, they owe a lot of money, man. They want to start fights, but they want to not have to pay all the fighters that they owe money to. And they owe just fucking untold millions of dollars to fighters that they haven't paid.
Wow.
So they're in a bad financial situation, but it's because they didn't promote it correctly. If somebody like the UFC came along, if Zuffa came along and picked up K-1, they're not interested in it. I've talked to them about it. But if someone like that did, if Mark Cuban did, or someone with balls and a lot of money who loves the sport, goddamn, that's a gold mine. It's a goddamn gold mine. Mark Cuban, go do it. You already got Michael Schiavello working for you. Michael Schiavello, the Australian guy, my buddy. Mm-hmm. You've toned out. You've completely zoned out. We're talking about fighting.